Lo-fi beats is a movement that I've kind of let slide by me until a couple of years ago when I discovered some video game music tribute albums doing lo-fi beats versions of like Final Fantasy and Zelda music. My other half uses lo-fi beats to help them with like focus in and concentrate when they're doing their postgraduate degree assignments, which is great for them. However, taking that concentration element and the cutesy cozy game element of life and fusing them together, you get Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions. This isn't a game necessarily, and a lot of the gameplay elements that you'll see here will be static screenshots in a way. And the idea behind this is that you've got a customizable bedroom with a customizable avatar and spirit. You dress them up with things that you unlock through gaining XP by using this app or tool every day and completing tasks with your task manager every day in here. And you plop them, say, on the bed chilling out, or at the desk reading or drawing, or reading at the window, or knitting by the fireplace. It's entirely up to you. And you sit and chill out, sort out your mood with lighting and sound effects, and just let the game run in the background whilst you get on with whatever study, assignments, tasks, whatever it is that you're up to. It's supposed to help you focus in on what you're doing and concentrate on it. From that perspective, I would say that Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions is somewhat of a success. What I really love about this is the lighting and mood and ambiance of it. And I know that makes me sound very posh and very like, oh ho ho, but this reminds me slightly of trying to build your own customised background, like 3 hours of rain effects video that sometimes I use to send myself off to sleep, or customised ASMR sound device. And that's really where Spirit City shines. If you like lo-fi beats, there's several albums worth of material here for you to just have chilling away in the background. Similarly, you've also got loads of sound effects that also change the mood of what's going on around you. You can choose morning, afternoon, evening and night for the general lighting effects. But if, say, you want rain on the windows, then you can turn up the sound effects for that, but you'll get the visual display of it too. Same for thunder, same for fire crackling, same for a vinyl spitting. It's entirely up to you. There's even one where you've got like a sizzling barbecue going on in the background, alongside white, pink and brown noise. You can slide these up and down on the filters, but if, say, you want it to be quite a dark night and you start to turn on the night forest where it's got loads of crickets going on, and you don't want the visual cues of the crickets and the fireflies lighting up the trees at night, you can turn the visual side of these effects off so that you just have the sounds. So it's really customizable, and that is clearly this game's strength. As you gain XP, you also gain access to new spirits. You can see that every time I'm sat anywhere, there's always like an animal alongside me, and these are unlockable by setting up your environment to coax them in. So one might only come out at night time in the rain, another one might just be like they love to be next to you with your morning coffee by the fireplace, and then a teapot will arrive and things like that. And you set up the environment, the game gives you a cue that you're going to coax a spirit out, and you'll see the spirit decks on the left hand side kind of shining, and you just let the game run as you will be as you're doing tasks in the background, and eventually the spirit will pop out to greet you and become part of your arsenal. As you level up your character, you then gain access to be able to customize the different colours of the different spirits that you unlock, alongside your own personal avatar with clothing, skin tones, eye colours, hair colours, and also your environment. So the wallpaper, the floors, the wall displays, the colour of wood of the desk, the type of beanbag you sit in, things like that. From that perspective, I think Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions is a really fantastic screensaver plus, but it is a task management tool too. But this is very much aimed at beginners. Now, I do project management in my day job. I look after a team of over 60 staff, dealing with and running and managing a service for over 90,000 people. So I have to be very task and project management focused. With Spirit City, it gives you a couple of tools that are aimed really at the beginner level, streamlined down to the point where it almost undermines the compellingness of using these tools because they lack the functionality. that makes it infinitely approachable, but you will only find it approachable for very high level management of things. If you want nitty gritty advanced features, you'll find none here. The task system allows you to add on new tasks on a suspiciously short title. And I kept running into this where the title ran off the page and I was like, You can drag and drop them to arrange them in a certain order. And then when you complete them, you get a satisfying chalkboard as you kind of cross them off the list. I did, however, run into consistent problems where stuff that I'd completed would then appear the next day, and things that I hadn't completed didn't sometimes appear the next day, and then vice versa. So I'm struggling to actually understand what the true version of the task system is, and that kind of made me a little bit reticent to use it. I also think that this task system would benefit from the ability to add a task and then subtasks underneath, because everything expects you to do it that very day rather than advanced planning, which becomes a bit of a problem. Some of that advanced planning can be sorted with the habit tracker if that's something that you're doing every day. And this is how I was playing with Spirit City, was if it's something that I did every day, like checking in on my dad with his dementia care, getting what I call dadmin sorted, and some other stuff just to kind of, that I do constantly daily, like checking emails and things like that. That could go into my habit tracking system, and then I just tick them off as I went through that each day, making sure that I completed it. There's also a timer system, which I thought was quite cool, allowing you to set a custom timer for X amount of minutes to run through. It would then ring out a bell to give you an X amount of minutes break before the next cycle begins. The idea being that if you take a regular break, you then be able to refresh your brain and focus more in the future for longer times. The fourth option here is a journal, and this is just a purely text editor journal. It's just Notepad with bells and whistles visually on it, so no formatting or anything like that at all. The only thing that I found that was quite useful with this was the ability to have a drop down of prompts, such as what are you most grateful for today, what are the top 3 things you were most proud of, for example. But because it lacked so many other features that other journaling tools have, I kind of grew over that very quickly, and I really found myself mainly using this for the daily habit routine because it was so easy to set up and very easy to just tick off and visually see what I'd still got left to do. I then abandoned the adding new task feature because a lot of my stuff actually isn't I do this task today. They're bigger tasks that are broken down over several days, and the game doesn't really allow you to do that. So on reflection, I think that Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions sets out what it and achieves what it sets out to do from a ambience and setting perspective, and from the visuals and the audio perspective and the cuteness of being able to pet your spirits. I think this game does a really great job. Where it does start to fall down from me is that lack of flexibility in its task management systems. So I'd almost say you would put this alongside maybe a Trello or free version of Asana or something like that. But that's probably overkill for a lot of people. So it's very difficult to be able to kind of go back to basics and be like, yes, as a beginner, this would be helpful, because I spend all of my day like buried knee deep in project and task management in like Jira and Confluence and things like that. So to take a step back and be like, would this be useful for people, is quite difficult for me. But if you look at that and think, do you know what? I just want like a shopping list version of being able to tick off tasks, then you'll be fine with this. If you want anything beyond it, I think you might struggle. So yeah, chill out, enjoy yourselves, and the music in here is fantastic. So there's always that, several albums of fun to be had. Take care. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane-network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.